A new and dangerous development has emerged in the growing global tensions involving Iran and Western military forces. Just days after a deadly naval incident near Sri Lanka, a second Iranian ship is now heading toward the island nation, raising fears among officials that it could also become a target in an increasingly volatile situation. The concern began after an Iranian naval vessel, the Iris Dina, was reportedly attacked in waters near Sri Lanka in early March 2026. The ship suffered catastrophic damage during the incident, shocking observers because direct naval engagements of this kind are extremely rare in modern times. The attack quickly drew international attention and raised questions about whether the conflict involving Iran was expanding into international waters far from the Middle East. Following the incident, Sri Lankan authorities began monitoring the situation closely. Officials in Sri Lanka reported that another Iranian vessel was moving toward the same region in the Indian Ocean. The ship was detected entering Sri Lanka's exclusive economic zone, an area where the country has special maritime rights even though it lies outside its territorial waters. Government representatives stated that the vessel was carrying a large number of crew members and might be seeking permission to dock at a Sri Lankan port. Authorities indicated that the ship could be requesting assistance, safety, or logistical support after the earlier incident involving the Iranian frigate. However, the arrival of this second ship has triggered serious concerns among security officials. Because the first attack occurred in nearby waters, analysts fear that the new vessel could also be targeted if tensions escalate further. The situation is delicate because Sri Lanka itself is not a participant in the wider conflict, but is now caught in the middle of events unfolding in its surrounding waters. Officials emphasized that their priority is protecting human life and preventing any further violence near the island. Sri Lankan authorities have been coordinating with maritime security agencies and monitoring the vessel's movement carefully while considering whether to allow it to dock. The broader context behind this tension is the escalating confrontation between Iran and Western forces across multiple regions. Over recent weeks, the situation has intensified with airstrikes, missile launches, and military operations increasing throughout the Middle East and nearby waters. As military activity spreads beyond traditional battle zones, more countries are finding themselves drawn into the ripple effects of the conflict. Iran has strongly condemned attacks on its naval assets and warned that it will respond if its vessels continue to be threatened. At the same time, military forces from other nations remain on high alert in strategic shipping routes across the Indian Ocean. For the sailors aboard the second Iranian ship, the journey toward Sri Lanka is unfolding under immense uncertainty. With naval forces operating nearby and tensions already high after the previous attack, the waters around the island have suddenly become one of the most closely watched maritime zones in the world. Whether the ship is seeking refuge, carrying out a mission, or simply passing through remains unclear. But its presence has already turned the region into a potential flashpoint in a wider geopolitical struggle. For now, the world is watching closely as the vessel approaches Sri Lanka, waiting to see whether the situation will calm down or whether another confrontation at sea could occur.